Good evening and welcome back for another exciting news update. There's all sorts of mayhem going on. I tried to post one last night, a massive rant. I went off my head. I was like that. Right, I'm going to briefly tell you exactly what happened. I watched the fella from Ashfield, the MP from Ashfield, ranting on about people couldn't cook and didn't know how to budget and things like that. And it incensed me. I went mad at it. Right, and he's been trying to get out of it all day, saying he's been this, that, and the other. Right, okay. If you watch this, I'm roughly from the same area and roughly the same background. My father went out pit since he was 14-year-old, literally. I had pictures of him with leather helmet and horses down pit. Right, so that's going to neutralise you first of all before you say you're different or something like that. Right. Also, an MP is on £80,000+ a year. He also got a £2,000 pay rise this year. I think it was the 1st of April, they got a pay rise of £2,000 when the rest of us are tightening our belts. And as well as that, interestingly enough, MPs are allowed £140 plus per week to actually feed themselves for the groceries. So it's the only job you can really do where you're actually paid your wage, and then you don't have to use that to buy anything for your groceries. They'll give you that money on top of that. So that's bang that on top of your bill. So in real terms, when he made a statement that he could cook a meal for 30p a day. A tin of beans is more than 30p. It's 39p. A bag of peas is £1. A bag of sweet corn is £1, and these are the cheapest, the cheap shops. That's I'll tell you where they're from Iceland. So I've tried to find the cheapest ones I can get. Right, so 30p. To be quite honest, you're going to go, how do you know this? Well, for over 20 years, I was involved in the catering industry, and I can tell you that for 30p a day, you cannot even feed a prisoner in a prison. So that's an out and out lie, and I'll tell you why. Because your 30p a day probably won't even cover the electricity and the gas at present to actually put the food or warm it up. So I think you're telling porkies here, mate. Also, you're not paying out of your wages for your food. You're getting it through expenses, and also your expenses, which you freely admitted by mistake that you're on over £200,000 a year in expenses. Just to break that down for everybody, that's the equivalent of 10 people's wages. It's actually more than that, but I'm just rounding it down. This is just his expenses. So you could pay 10 people to work for him, 40 hours a week, and that would be £200,000, and he would still be able to get his £80,000 a year as well as that. So, I'm sorry, but I don't believe anything you say. I think it's a pack of lies. You've done it for propaganda, and you've raised an almighty storm with it as well, and you've insulted a lot of people. And I don't think, with that, knowing what the people are like in that area as well, and I was born not so far from there, I assure you. And I don't think you'll be voted in next time. I think you'll be looking for another job. I think you're insulting people. And now you've got yourself, you've done well, you've got a nice, good job. But I think you might have to look for another one. Oh, well. Right, moving on. Another interesting bit for you, which is going to come across the news mainstream sooner or later, is about Pfizer. Now, last week, I think it was, I told you about Pfizer making all these billions of pounds profit, up 77% on their profit margins and everything like that. So they're doing really well. However, they've just released another 90,000 pages of documents about their research and everything like that, and it's not looking good. So I'm going to probably think that a lot of people are going to jump boat on that one. They might have made all these billions, but it'll be like PPI when it comes out. I think that Pfizer will go under. the management companies, they'll scoot off with all the funds elsewhere, and they'll leave it for the government to pay the compensation for people. So I think that's where that's heading very quickly. And long COVID we're talking about there. Sorry, in case you didn't keep up with there. So it looks like they've been not forthcoming with their information either. The truth seems to be really sketchy at the moment. Everyone thinks they can say what they want. They're just making stuff up. Right. Talking about people who make things up. Kim Jong-un has from North Korea. He's been spotted wearing a mask, a face mask for COVID. Now that's quite interesting. I know it's a bad. I'm not laughing at COVID. I'm laughing at the hypocrisy here. The hypocrisy is that his family is treated like gods, so he's having to wear a mask now. So pretty much we know just by that if he's wearing a mask, they've got big problems going on. Big problems. I know they've said no to having injections and everything over there, so they're going to obviously be dealing with herd immunity, but we're not going to find out how bad it is, but it's pretty bad. I remember a long time ago somebody saying to me that their army are so malnourished and everything like that. It's like huge amounts of them have got tapeworm, which you never heard over here nowadays, but they do live in the human body. But apparently loads of their army have got tapeworm in them. Because they're just eating anything they can when they can. So that's quite frightening. If he's coming out with a mask on, it means, I think, if you do watch this, don't get annoyed at me, like, because you might do something nasty to me. But why don't you just say, okay, can I just have the injections? So, good, bad, or indifferent, But they might be, just don't have the Pfizer, the other ones. So, but it might be a problem there. Because we know that China's suffering, and we know, so we can presume that if they've got it bad, Kim, I think you need to call for a bit of help there. So even if it's just for a little bit of help and assistance, is always, you can't turn it down, mate. When it's your people, right? Moving on. What have I got here? Oh, right, okay. Michael Gove gave an interview and he started doing accents. I do accents now and again, mainly when I'm breathing. Right, but he started doing Scouse accents, Mang accents, all sorts like that. And he was trying to make it into a comedy hour. I mean, hold on, mate. I can have a laugh. We're just passing on information. But you're actually trying to make a joke of things that are happening to people which you instigated. So that's not clever, and it ain't funny, mate. So you might have shot yourself in the foot on that one. So you've got to be careful, mate, because you're in the limelight. I might get somebody come up to me and say, "Mick, you're a prat," or something like that, and I'll take it on chin, never mind. But you won't like it, mate, because you ain't the same build as me. So I'm used to that sort of environment. You're not. You're a public school boy, and some of you can be right prats. So if you're going to talk about it, so my accents are natural to me. I've got a mixed up background. Yours ain't. Speak as you should, right, in your power. So people are used to hearing you that. You're never going to be a comedian. You say things and we do laugh because we know it's a load of crap that you come out with, but never mind about it. It ain't funny no more. Right, stop it. Right, and final one today is the BBC. Now, I don't know about you. I'll tell you straight. I don't watch the BBC whatsoever. I haven't done for about 2 years, and I stopped paying the licence because I don't have it on. I don't have terrestrial television anymore. Mainly, it's just YouTube I find my information from, and I'll give them a pun. I have a Disney subscription and the other one, Netflix. Much better. I can watch what I want when I want, and I don't watch that much television. It's like background noise. Right. Anyway, so if you notice now the BBC are losing their licence. it started the big sinking ship scenario. They're all starting to jump ship, aren't they? And I think they're thinking, right, I need to get off quick now and make it look like, I'm one of the good guys, because it's going to be up to all the people working at BBC. They're going to thin it down, so a lot of them are going to jump ship and try to get onto other news programs or programs in general, ITV and stuff like that. So from that side of it, they're starting to jump ship, and they're all at it now. You watch it; it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So that's that. So it's been quite an interesting day, really. A lot of little snippets have come out. As I say, I just give information out. I'm not here to make anyone's mind up on or anything like that. It's up to you. Luckily, we do have the free press, so we can have a bit of a joke and laugh about everything. And I've still not had a TikTok from Boris. He's not TikToked me today, so I'm all right on that one. He's been down in, I think, Stoke-on-Trent or somewhere like that. Well, he appeared on Stoke-on-Trent, and then he was abroad somewhere. I'm thinking, what is he doing? Has he got a double? You never know. He could have a double. Right. Anyway, so I don't know what he's doing. Obviously, he's got a couple of days to make another cock up at Summit. But we'll find out. I know his last thing was jobs. I'm thinking, yeah, jobs worth. So, right. That's that. He says jobs is the future, and you're right, Boris. You will be looking for a job for your future. Yeah, right. Okay, that's all for now. I'll catch you all later, and next one's going to be a specialised subject again. Last week it was strawberries. It's going to be something different again. So catch me then. See you on. Remember to push the little fella. Subscribe.